All right, ladies.
Hello.
Yo.
Episode 3 of the Survivor podcast.
Sorry we're a little bit late. Jillian was out of town.
As they all know,
So
Is it true that everything's big in Texas?
everything is bigger in Texas.
All right.
Even those shoulders
That's
on
a-
those highways.
Okay.
Hey.
Shoulders on what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know. You know.
Did you see Texas from your high horse over there?
all right.
Okay.
Episode
2 of Survivor.
2. 3 of the podcast.
Yeah.
Started out day 4 on the edge. Natalie and Amber, not a lot going on. Amber claims she still has motivation to fight through because Rob's in the game and she's away
Yeah.
from the kids and they didn't come all this way. Sob story. I don't know. I don't really feel bad because you got 2 people playing for $2 million.
And then they got the clue.
Yeah, they did get a clue. Rob got the fire token from Amber.
Obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
So Rob immediately is like, ooh, this could be bad. This could mean Amber's there. But he also was kind of thinking, what if Sandra got voted out? And Sandra said it to him because they had just spent the last 39 days together.
Which, as we discussed that, I mean, maybe it wasn't so bad. I mean, Sandra pegged Rob to be really, really bad. Like, he didn't tell her he was going on it, but Rob kind of thought it was Sandra, so I don't understand where that negativity was coming from.
It was Sandra, but Rob doesn't know it's Sandra. It could have
No,
been anybody.
but-
It was a whole tribe.
But what he was saying is he thought maybe Sandra got
That's
voted
what I'm
out
saying.
and sent
Yes.
him the fire token.
But he
he didn't,
Yeah,
but-
he sees that. Yeah.
So yeah, he was talking to Parvati and just trying to figure out like, ooh, this could be bad. I hate they call her that, but whatever. Then we go to Ben. Ben is walking around with Denise.
I still want Ben, Laura. If you want to make a trade.
Ben is trying to build relationships this season, not just be a crazy idle whore. So he's helping Denise find idols and explaining to her what to look for. And lo and behold, ding, 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 they find one. Of course, they throw in the curveball of it being a 2-piece idol. Both pieces have to be together to work, but you have to give a piece to somebody else and yada, yada, yada. And she doesn't give it to Ben, which wasn't really shocked about.
Ben didn't ask for it, though.
Which I thought was good, and that was good for him to build that relationship and try to build that trust.
But I thought maybe she would have, based on the fact that
They found it together.
they found it together. He helped her kind of
right.
figure out how
But
to look
she's
for idols.
under Adam's spell.
Ugh, I do not like Adam.
But
know.
but you're right. Ben's smart because he said we can basically form an alliance with this
And get somebody else to be in with us.
because he knows like if she doesn't use Ben, he knows she has it. So that's kind of like it's almost as much as a good thing that she found it because Ben knows that she has it
Right.
if he doesn't get it or not.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Of course, Denise talks to Adam, and Adam immediately is like, well, you have to give it to me.
He was mad that Ben
Me,
found
me.
out.
Well, he was pissed about Ben, but also Denise was trying to make a play. She wanted to give a piece of it to Parvati, trying to almost like mend fences and go across alliance lines or whatever. And he's immediately like, nope, can't do that. Nope, she's going to vote you out with half.
Me.
Exactly. I just don't like him.
I know he's mine. Long season. Anyway. Yeah, I was just, I don't know. I was
Well,
shocked that,
Adam gets his way and Denise gives half to him.
yeah, oof.
Then we flash to...
Let's talk about Tony and his ladder.
Hold
my-
on. Wait. First, Yule's trying to get some fruit.
Yeah, well,
And
that's a
Yule's-
good contraption.
Yeah, I know. It was a
Yule
good
was
little
using the big piece
tool.
of bamboo and the rope and trying just to like attach it and pull it down, which I thought worked well for what they were trying to do. And after Yule gets the piece of fruit down, Kim's wandering through the woods, the trail, trying to not be too obvious that she's away from camp, and she finds an idol. Finds the same idol Denise finds. 2 pieces, has to give it to somebody. Well, her main alliance was Amber.
Right.
And Amber's over on extinction. So she's panicked. One, she almost gets caught with the idol in her hand because she has no freaking pants on. She has spandex on. How you don't have a penis? How are you going to hide this? And no one's going to know it's there. So she hides
It's
it
roll
back in.
quarters.
Because
Exactly.
Tony comes in and he...
Tony and Nick come in until she throws it back in like the weeds where she had found it or whatever. And eventually she goes and gets Sophie, which this is the first time I felt we saw a kind of evil side of
Yeah,
Sophie.
I always liked her. I thought she was a sweet, innocent little thing, and she's not that anymore.
No, she was basically said that Kim just told the devil that she has an idol, is how she worded it.
Because she's playing with Tyson.
Because they think she's playing with Tyson, and she's obviously not. If she was playing with Tyson, she would have went and found him and gave him half the idol. That's what's blowing my mind. Everyone's so
true.
set on this freaking poker alliance. She didn't run to Tyson and tell him.
Poker Alliance
no,
doesn't
no.
exist.
She hasn't even talked to Tyson.
I thought Sophie was with Tyson.
No, Kim was with Tyson. That was the that poker
Yeah.
alliance they were all talking about. So then before we get to Tony and his stupid ladder,
That wasn't stupid. It was innovative.
we go back to the edge. And this is when Natalie and Amber get that note, the clue.
Yes.
They have to find something. And it was a lot of gibberish and blah, blah, blah. Basically, it was something on this island is here that doesn't belong. You haven't noticed something is different. And when you find it, it's going to be something for you to barter with. Well, Natalie obviously knows if I'm going to find this thing, it's going to give me a chance to get fire tokens to help me get out of here or get more stuff while on at the edge of extinction. Amber was just like, da-da-da, I have no clue because I didn't play when there was idols and I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be looking for.
Yeah, Natalie's smart.
They tracked all around that freaking island again. Which
Climb those stairs again.
Natalie already did that before. And when we watched it the first time, because we watched it twice so Jillian could watch, when they first left their little area and walked past the watering hole and kept going, I said, I think out loud, like, oh my God, why didn't they check that? Mm-hmm. Lo and behold, they come back and
It was in the bottom of the water.
where Natalie finds it in the bottom of the watering hole.
Yeah.
And that was for an idol, right?
Yep.
And she said,
No, it was like a little immunity. Like he could leave. He could leave the vote off. to
Oh
return
yes,
to
it was an
camp.
advantage.
It was
where
an advantage
He would
to Jeremy, right?
he would leave before the votes are cast, but it also means he can't be voted out, but he also can't cast a vote.
Right.
So that's the catch. You can't be voted out, but you also can't vote and help your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll talk about Tony.
The ladder. I mean, he tried to one up Yule. The ladder was a good idea, but I don't think he thought it through 100%.
No, as soon as he stepped on the first freaking step, he broke it.
Right. It was a heavy ladder.
And then a couple rungs up almost broke. And then once he got to the second rung, I think like the next rung up was almost too far away for him.
He thinks he's 12 feet tall.
Yeah. But anyway, it was kind of a funny moment that he's
It
trying to
made
be
everybody
innovative.
laugh.
And he even said it. He's keeping himself busy, so he's not going off and looking crazy and searching for idols. So he's just trying to kind of lay low,
other
be
stuff.
kind of funny. I mean, do his own
Yeah.
little thing.
I don't totally understand the not looking fight. It's part of the game.
I know, but as soon as you
put a
do,
target
or
on
it's
your
known, you
back.
put a target on your back, because then they think you have one, so they're trying to either flush the idol or vote you out. Also about Tony, so him and Sarah are working together, that Cops Are Us alliance, which she said backfired on her last time because he voted her out. But they're trying to work together without making it obvious, so they're barely speaking.
I mean, Tony voted her out before.
Yes, exactly. That's what they said. Like, it only works if they are loyal to each other, which they weren't last time. So they're just trying to keep it low key. We go to the immunity challenge.
Day 6.
It was a
Six.
tough one. I mean, it was really
there was
tough.
a lot of components in this. They had the cart. They had the 3 heavy chest of puzzle pieces. They had to go to each chest and climb a ladder and get the keys off and unlock it and get it on the cart. Then they had to get in the cart, as they're getting those, they're going through a maze. Then they finally get to
like a wall.
a
like a
wall
barrier.
that they had to take the cart apart, get everything through, go up over this thing, put it back together. Then they were going over dirt piles they were
Little
getting
dunes,
stuck in. It was a very hard challenge, but they were both in it. They were both totally in it. The Saleh tribe, the Blue tribe, got a little bit behind in that dirt part at the end, but they caught up at the puzzle
I thought they
challenge
could have maybe taken it.
until Rob
Rob.
and Denise put the freaking brakes on and decided to sort their puzzle pieces instead of looking at the
There
puzzle.
was no sense of urgency from Rob. And I don't understand, not to be gender biased, but it was a very physical challenge. Like, why wouldn't you have like one of the smaller girls?
Right.
Like 2 of the girls do the puzzle and all the guys
Yes.
would be on the
Right.
other
Yeah.
end of
Yeah.
it. I don't know.
I didn't know their
yeah, because that's
strategy
what the other
behind
tribe
that.
did. They had Sandra and Sophie do the puzzle. So
that's
they had
right.
They
all
did.
their guys in where Rob didn't do it. So I don't know, but
There was no urgency.
old school Survivor, you build the challenge, you're going home. is how it used to be. But everybody's scared of Rob.
But now they call him the Godfather.
Rob is like the freaking Godfather. He sits back like, yeah, I know I blew that challenge, but I should be scared, but I know I'm not going home as he's playing with a freaking ring toss game or whatever. Like, I just don't understand. They put him on this pedestal like he's this.
I can't wait to rewatch that.
I know.
He's this god of Survivor. He fucked up the challenge. Oh, pardon my French.
That wasn't French. That was English.
Shut up.
Okay. So let's talk about. There was a lot of like chitter chatter after this challenge gets messed up. A lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to call her my girl. I'm gonna call her my draft pick.
Yep.
She puts a target on her back like a complete moron. She was never in the
was an idiot.
conversation.
Yeah.
She went about it the wrong
We're
way.
talking about Danny here.
Yes.
If you're not,
Y'all don't know.
Not aware, Danny.
If she wanted to figure out where the votes were falling, don't have a pity party for yourself.
Go talk to your freaking alliance.
By the way, this is part of my phone call since we're not calling.
Oh, right.
I'm not calling in. I'm here.
Yeah,
So
Kyle's here, so we don't have to call anybody.
she has a pity party for herself, and that's how she approaches it. And to fix it, she overcorrects it and says, let's vote out Rob. Right? Was that who it was? Or Parv?
Parvati.
Parv.
She went after Parvati. Yeah.
So now she goes to Rob and says,
It says that.
let's vote out Parvati, even though she knows that Rob's working with Parv. And Rob, he played it well. He's like, yeah, I'm in.
That's his
And
number
this
one.
that was like the easiest play in the book. He just went back and said, hey, she wants to vote. Yeah, let's vote her out. So she takes her bedazzled Kansas City Chief jersey and her stupid cowboy hat to Tribal. I'm like, it was a red bullseye.
Yeah.
It was the dumbest move in the book. And
Before we go to Tribal, though, let's talk about right before the whole Rob interaction. She goes to Ethan
Oh, that's my favorite part
And
of the whole
Ben.
episode. So she
and
walks
blows
up,
herself in
while
that
she's
way.
she's bitching about the old school alliance, which isn't supposed to be a thing in front of Ben because Ben's new school, and is talking to Ethan about it. And Ethan finally goes, whoa, whoa, do you know who you're talking to here? Like, he's part of new school.
She's like, oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, I know. She's acting like it's all hypothetical. You just gave everything away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were not to go home, your entire playbook is out there
Right.
of what the old school is planning to do to the new school.
Right.
Totally out there. It was just a shit show.
It
It was a really tough episode
Speaking
to
of
watch.
shit
My skin
show,
crawled.
Then at the end, you were like, just wait for it. It gets worse. And
Oh,
sure
it-
as shit, it got way worse. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
crawling out of my skin.
I almost am to the point that I feel like there shouldn't even be immunity idols anymore because there's such a taboo thing to have that Rob made everybody dump their bags.
Yeah.
And if you didn't dump your bag, they thought you had the idol. So
Denise played it
poor
wheel.
Denise, who didn't
Went really
say
well.
boo at Tribal. I don't think she said one
No.
word. She didn't say
No, she
anything.
didn't.
So she's like, had the oh shit look on her face. So she starts taking stuff out of her bag, must have left her idol in the bottom, grabbed the bottom of the bag and dumped it. So she's holding onto it, which was a brilliant move.
Yeah.
Might I
what did
add.
Adam do with his?
I don't know. I didn't
I
really
don't know
see
if
much
she
of
maybe
him.
kept her, like she knows she gave it to him, but did she keep them together?
I don't. And,
Or was his in his pocket? He has pants on.
that's true too.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He's got pockets.
But you know what I mean? Like, they're making such a big deal about the idols. It's part of the game. At this point, are we going to be like, how many flyer tokens does everybody have?
That's what
Like,
Rob said. Like, it's part of the game, like looking for idols. So
But he also made everybody dump their bags. Like, he's
Yeah.
also part of the problem. Like, if it's going to be like where you can't have one and it's taboo, they almost should make it not part of the game anymore because it makes it where people are too stupid, like last year when your girl went home with two in her pocket.
I thought we were done talking about that.
So it's just as frustrating because when they were first a new thing, it was still new and ooh and ah, but they were able to use them how they're meant to be used and not be like ridiculed for having one.
And used as leverage to
Right.
form
To get
alliances.
yeah, exactly.
Yes, make a play in the game.
Now,
Should be
Kyle,
rewarded for putting
could
the
she have
effort.
done anything differently? I know you've asked that from our other guests.
Yeah, she could have not been a child and like,
Right.
I think everybody's out to get me.
Just like Kim.
Like it was like
Yeah.
the biggest pity party in the world. And I think this goes back to I don't have my notes from last week, but there was like 11 players that have never been voted out, or they may have
Yeah.
been on the bottom, but they never been voted out. She may have been one of them. It was just like her approach to it. Instead of going back and just putting on her, like, oh, I think it's me. I mean, everyone used that to say, hey, she thinks it's her. We can play her, and she became weak instantly. If she would have went back and just said to people like, hey, can we talk? Instead of
Or
just
hey,
saying,
what's the plan? Don't even like say,
Yeah,
can we talk?
I'm in,
Hey,
or-
what's the plan?
Right.
Who we vote for? Just kind of going like you're willing to do what you have to do.
if she would have had a little more like positive body language in her approach. It was awful. But she went to Robin like paranoid and was like, we need to vote out Parv. He was like,
Stupid.
he sniffed it out instantly. He was like, yeah, sure, I'm in. And then,
then
it was,
went
going
right
home.
back and told
Yeah.
Parvati what's going on. But no, when she did get to the edge of extinction, she did say something like that was the first time my torch had to be snuffed. So she had never been voted out before.
yeah.
She's only played once, and she won that time. So I don't know. I hope she is like, duh, when she watches it back
Right.
and it realizes
Those
like,
old school girls need to toughen up.
I just feel like they tried to be so thrown off by the new part of the game. Just play. Build relationships. Try to find idols. Play the game is what it comes down to. I just don't understand why everyone's like, oh God, nobody likes me. It's Survivor. You're not there to make friends.
that's what I can't wait to watch that again either.
I know.
That's the one thing I've noticed about this Survivor as opposed to previous years, is everybody in this has been successful in this game, and they are able to, for the most part, they can complete and compete very well in challenges. And old Survivors, you had like a mixed bag, so you would have people that completely sucked in challenges,
Oh God. Yeah.
and you were like, and I always would get frustrated because they would lose a challenge, and then they would go back and play this like little game about who should we vote out. And the obvious answer was, I don't know, the Karishmas in the world who can't pull their weight and make you lose challenges. But in this Survivor, I have not seen that yet. It's mostly, I mean, this is still early on, but
Yeah.
right now everything's all relationships, and they're trying to build
I feel
alliances.
like these players are so good and they've been, I will say, fabulous at all the things they've done in the past, but I feel like they're so paranoid, which they brought that up. Like, just play your game. I don't understand what the whole
They're
issue
all
is.
paranoid because they've all won before. So
Yeah.
they're all
Right,
trying.
but that shouldn't matter
They're
then.
all trying to think 3 steps ahead when they shouldn't be.
Again, a lot of them have never been voted off.
Right.
And so it's just that paranoia of, oh my God, it's going to be the first time I've voted for or voted off. And it sucks. But like, I just feel like so far, it hasn't been this like fantastic season like I expected it to
Right.
be, because everyone's so like, oh
Paranoid,
paranoid,
yeah.
scared
Right.
all the time, that it's like, play the game. Somebody
balls
make,
to the wall. Let's go.
Yeah, somebody make a big move, and that's what I think next week we might be in for, based on what the preview showed.
So before we get to that, though, I want to point out Denise, who you said was very quiet at Tribal. She now has the immunity idol, and she also has an extra fire token, because that's who Danny gave her fire token to. So she has 2 fire tokens
And an idol.
and an idol. And Jeremy is actually in a really good spot.
He has that advantage where he can leave.
He has the
before-
advantage, and he also has an extra fire.
Yep.
Well, he
Oh no, he used one, but he still has
still
one.
has a fire
Because
token.
he had to pay for the fire token, pay a fire token
Okay.
to keep that advantage.
So honestly, in my opinion, right now, the person who's played and done the most to impact the game, Natalie, who's on Extinction Island.
Right.
She's been voted off.
She gave an idol to Sandra
Gave an idol to
for
Sandra.
a token.
Yep.
And then she gave Jeremy the advantage. So she has 2 fire tokens. And they had a price list or
Menu.
menu at the edge also for what she can get with that. So I don't think you can buy yourself back into the game, but I think you can buy yourself things to help you get back in the game,
So
if
do
that
you-
makes sense.
So she gave away her fire token
To Jeremy.
to
Jeremy.
Jeremy. So now that she's on the edge of extinction, do we know, like, for example, she gave that up to him, the advantage. Does she get his fire token?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
because they have to pay for it. That's why
Okay.
when she found that thing, she didn't say anything to Amber.
No.
Because Amber doesn't know. Amber has no clue
how this
how
works.
it's going to go. Natalie is the only one that has all of the rules for Edge right now.
I think Amber's going to be on edge of extinction. Like, what's her face from the first?
Reem.
Reem, yeah.
Oh God.
She's going to be out there
I
just
don't
forever.
know. Like when Amber played in the past, she was really good, and I felt like aggressive
she's
in a good way.
soft.
Exactly. I just feel like she's kind of just like, whatever, I'm here. But she was disappointed that she came all this way from her 4 children, and she's already there. She said like she's happy there is the edge of extinction, because if not, she'd be going home.
Right.
And that'd be really disappointing to know you traveled all this way, had all these plans, and you lasted for 2 days.
With 4 kids.
or 5, whatever it ends up being.
Yeah.
A couple days.
So next week, what are you thinking?
So the preview showed Denise and Adam talking more and talking about making a big move, going after one of the big dogs,
Yes.
meaning Rob,
Which they
Parvati.
need to.
That's the only way you're going to mix this up, is by getting some bigger people. Because not that everybody on the edge is a bad player. I think Natalie can be a good player. I think Amber can too, and Danny I think can too if she gets her head out of her ass. But to get someone like the Godfather, Rob, somebody that has the stigma about them, send them there. That's going to change the game when the other tribe comes in and says, oh my God, they voted Rob off.
From my experience, that role's never worked.
No.
If you try to control the game and be like a dictator, what was the guy that used to sit around in a hammock?
Russell.
No, it was later. I know who you're talking about. I can't
Sit
think
in a
right now.
hammock and they call him the king, like, go kiss his ring. Remember that?
Yeah, I can't remember what season it was. It was just a couple seasons ago, but
Sit in a hammock and direct orders.
yeah. So I think they can make it more exciting. I think they can do some stuff to really, change it up a little bit. I just think they all got to stop thinking so much. Just play. Play
Yeah.
the game, go with your gut, find idols. Like you said, balls to the wall.
Right.
Do something crazy. Spice it up. These new school players, you want to prove yourself and you want to be in that legend category? Make moves. Do something.
I'm curious what next week's previews showed
Oh, yeah.
Sandra getting mad because Tyson threw out her name. So I'm curious who actually wins the immunity challenge if that's the preview.
that's a-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we haven't heard much from her lately. I mean, she's
Yeah, she
the-
was
well, they
kinda-
won the
She was
immunity.
quiet this week.
yeah.
Tony also catches a shark.
I'm pretty sure that's a shark, like a
It's
mini
a little
shark.
shark.
yeah, it looked like one. Yeah, for sure.
That's probably good eating.
And
too.
everybody's talking about it. With the thing in all the
He's flopping
previews.
around.
Yeah.
I like Tony. I know you don't like Tony. I like.
and he's my guy though. But I
he's
just
all
don't
over
like
the place.
him.
He's crazy.
He's just like
He's
cocky
having
and
fun.
loud.
You know what he's
and-
doing? He's doing what we just talked about. He's just playing the game. He's
Right,
having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's also not trying to fight idols because it'll put a tartar on his back.
Right.
Well, he's got a reputation for it.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm hoping we'll get some exciting, episodes here soon. I just think right now they're all thinking too much.
Yeah.
And they're trying too hard to strategize. Just play right now. Just play.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think
That's all
so.
I got.
I think that's it. Let's hope everyone's players are. Of course, no one called in this week because
It's you.
it's me.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, I think it's just. No, it's crickets. Anyway, next week, hopefully, we actually have someone that calls in.
Yeah. Hopefully it's
We'll
one
talk.
of us.
Hopefully we don't have to be in touch with you.
Yeah,
But if we do,
we're like the Grim Reaper of
we'll be
Survivor.
calling you soon.
If you get a phone call from us, it's not good.
Not
No.
good. No.
All right, guys.
I'll call you in 7 days. Was that the Grudge?